Very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News. You're with me, Stephanie Lazarus. Before we go into your stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines. Indian and Sri Lankan fishermen detained in both countries and released to be exchanged today. Principals advise on the storage sporting equipment in schools. First full day of Geneva II talks to begin. Your stories in detail. Group of Indian and Sri Lankan fishermen who were granted freedom from the jails in either country are due to be exchanged today. Navy media spokesperson Commander Kosalavarnakulu Surya stated that 59 Sri Lankan fishermen and 4 fishing boats are due to be handed over today. The exchange is due to take place in the seas of Kankesanthurei in the Indo-Sri Lankan maritime boundary, and the fishermen will be handed over to the Navy. According to the Navy media spokesperson, 67 Indian fishermen and 15 fishing boats will also be handed over to the Indian authorities. Moving on to more local news, the Ministry of Education has stated that a new guideline will be introduced regarding the storage of sports equipment in schools, and officials at the ministry stated that a copy of the guidelines will be posted to all principals in the country.
The death of a child on school grounds at a leading school in Colombo and the injury that was sustained by another individual in Ambalipitia when a javelin struck his face are the main reasons for introducing such guidelines. The Ministry of Education stated that the guidelines will include how best to use and upkeep sports equipment. The ministry further stated that they used the previous set of guidelines as the basis when writing the new set of guidelines.
The Ministry of Health has issued a special circular regarding of food additives and preservatives to be implemented from the 1st of July.
According to it, if any food additive is imported, a guarantee should be issued from its country of origin or manufacture regarding its safety for consumption. The circular noted that any additive that does not meet its requirements cannot be imported, produced, stored, transported, sold, displayed, distributed or advertised. Under this special circular, food additives to milk and milk products, ice cream, cut fruit and vegetables, mushroom production, grain including rice, fish, chicken, pasta and noodles will also be prohibited. The food additives permitted are monosodium glutamate, disodium thiaminoglycinate and disodium 5-inosinate. The Ministry of Health further noted that the Director General of Health would be able to take legal action against individuals and companies that use these prohibited food additives.
7 students were injured when the pickup that was travelling in support of a marathon in Munragala toppled over. Our correspondent said that the accident occurred at around 8 this morning. The injured students have been admitted to the Munragala District Hospital, and according to hospital sources, the conditions of the students are not ill-threatening, rather life-threatening. The police says that they are yet to identify the suspects connected to a shooting, an individual dead in Dankotua. According to the police media unit, the Dankotua police are heading the investigations. An individual was killed when a group of burglars who had broken into a house in the Singakuli area in Dankotua opened fire at him. The victim was shot when he moved towards the house of a businessman that was being looted. The victim has been identified as 48-year-old Christopher Sudat Prasanna, a resident of the Singakuli area. His body is currently lying at the Dankotua hospital morgue. The armed robbers had threatened the businessman and robbed cash and jewellery from his house. The police said the stolen items were worth over 240,000 rupees. The driver of the lorry that was involved in the accidents in Nahalugode yesterday and claimed the lives of 2 persons has been arrested. The accident was a result of a collision between a SUV and a lorry. 12 individuals initially sustained injuries and were admitted to the Avisavila Base Hospital. 2 of the injured later succumbed to their injuries and 5 women were among the injured. According to the police, one of the injured was admitted to the General Hospital for further treatment. Inspector General of Police N.K. Langaho notes that a program is to go underway to curb the trafficking of heroin. The IGP noted that all DIGs have been tasked with submitting a plan to handle the menace of drugs in their areas.
IGP N.K. Lankun went on to know that all DIGs were summoned to Colombo recently to engage in a discussion on how to curb the menace of heroin. The plans that were discussed during this meeting would be enforced from the 1st of February according to the Inspector General of Police. Ilankund also notes that there is a decrease in the amount of criminals engaging in heroin trafficking.
Now, the Colombo Municipal Council says that the city of Colombo is the most affected area due to the spread of dengue. Chief Medical Officer of the Colombo Municipal Council, Pradeep Karivasam, said that 4 dengue patients have died during the month of January so far this year.
268 dengue cases have been reported in the Colombo district so far. When compared to last year, there is a 30% increase in the amount of patients this year. Meanwhile, around 4 deaths have been recorded. The main cause of this is the lack of cleanliness of the people and the lack of awareness on mosquito breeding places in the area. This is a responsibility of the residents in the areas. Instead of waiting for the government officials or the municipal council to come and attend to this, each individual should take an interest towards the eradication of dengue.
In an era where humans fight each other, we sometimes come across instances where animals portray more humane qualities than humans. This is one such story reported from Kandy.
Our correspondent in the area, Dhammika Gunawardena, was fortunate enough to capture these visuals, and it is sure to restore the meaning of kindness. In a time where babies are killed as soon as they are born, we were lucky enough to capture a video where kindness and affection still persist in the animal kingdom. A few common babblers have taken it upon themselves to nourish and feed this orphaned baby eagle.
So that's a wrap of Lunchtime News. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Join us again at 1:55 for the very latest.